Alright, hey guys, so I just put a starter in this 2009 Yamaha Nytro XTX. This is my sled. Starter went out this past winter. We got snow on the ground, so I really want to get it done, get it going. But tried YouTube certifying myself. There's a couple videos on guys doing this. I think one was on a Vector, another one was just a really quick run through on a Nitro. I was going to try and do a little more in depth. I kind of, as you can tell, deep dove into it, kind of flying blind. It's not put back together yet, but the starter is in there, and it really wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So bear with me. I'm going to try and explain it the best that I can, just so that somebody else that's trying to do it themselves can get a better idea of what needs to be done with it. So I guess we'll start from the beginning. So obviously you got to take all your plastics off, right? So you're going to have your side bottom plastics here, your side plastics, your front plastics, same on the other side. You're going to want to take those off. You're then going to want to remove your cluster up top, get that out of the way. And then once that's out of the way, you're going to have to take your headlight assembly here off. That was easy peasy. You know, it's just those snap clips, they pop right out. But got to get that out of your way. And once that's out of your way, you then have access to your steering shaft here. And that was just mounted right here by two nuts. And then you also have this tie rod deal that goes down to your actual steering of the skis. That went in right here. I just put a nut back on it, hammered it out. It's tapered, so it might take you a little bit to get it out, but it wasn't bad. So once you get that out, you don't have to take it completely out. You have to undo it up top. Again, not bad at all. And you just kind of set it off to the side. And then once you're that far in, you can take out your air box. There is clamps, hoses that go to your air box, to your throttle body here, just about 2-inch hoses. They are clamped on, however, mine actually slid off no problem. Not sure if that's supposed to be the case, but that was my case, and it just came off with the air box. But yeah, so you get your air box out of it. The reason why you do that is because you have let's see if I can get a video of it. There's two engine mounts that you're going to have to undo. Where are you? Right here. So there's one right here, and then there is one down here too. I don't know if you can see it right here. But you're going to need to undo those to be able to move that motor a little bit. You don't need much, probably about 3/4 of an inch, but they need to be moved. So anyway, you take those engine mounts out, right? Don't worry about the rear engine mount at all. You do not have to touch that. Anyway, so then once you got your engine mounts out, you need to drain your oil right here, because one, the starter goes in the motor, there's an O-ring, and there's going to be oil in there. And also you have to remove the oil filter on the bottom. You have to remove the oil filter because the starter cannot come out without the oil filter being gone. So drain your oil, drain it from the case, drain it from your tank, take the filter off, right? So once you get to that point, it's not that bad. So the starter is going to be tucked up. I can see if I can crawl underneath there. I don't know if it's going to give you the best video of it, but that's another thing. You'll have to remove your bottom skid. But the starter is right up there, and it is tight. But there's two bolts that hold it on. They're 12 millimeter bolts. You're going to want a ratchet wrench. You can't get a ratchet in there, and a wrench takes forever. You're going to want a ratchet wrench. And then the power post there for the starter, that's a 10 millimeter. That's easy peasy to get to, not a problem. But you undo those two bolts, you undo the starter power, take that out, make sure your battery's disconnected, And yeah, so then once those are out, you can wiggle the starter out of its home up there, and it's going to drop down a little bit, and it's going to seem like it's so close to coming out, right? It's right there, but it's not going to come out. And this is where you're going to need another person. Maybe you can do it yourself. I grabbed another guy just to help out with it. But you're going to take a pry bar, and you're going to come right down here. And you see that little gap right here? You're going to take a pry bar, and you're going to push that motor up. And all you need is like 3/4 of an inch. And once you pry that up, you might have to do some prying on the other side, but for the most part, this side's the best. Pry that motor up, and you will literally hear that starter fall down. And that's where it's nice having another guy. One guy's prying up here, one guy's underneath, and you can wiggle that starter out. So yeah, once that starter's out, you know, it's easy peasy. And putting it in's the same thing. You kind of pry it up, you can wiggle it up in there. Really, like I said, really wasn't as bad as I thought. I did remove my tank and stuff back here because, again, going into it, I didn't know much. I thought maybe these would be an issue and I would have to disconnect them from the motor, but I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't, because anybody that messes with rusted bolts and exhaust know that they love to break. So I'm glad I didn't have to do that. But yeah, and then over here, this was the old starter. I took it apart, just trying to see what went bad on it. Those are the 2 mounting bolts right there. Your 1 stud for your power, and yeah, no, it came out, went good. But like I said, you know, just the hardest part's just taking apart all that stuff, because there's a lot to it. Just make sure you label it. Make sure you put all your bolts in the bags, label that, so when you put them back together, it's not bad. But as far as getting the actual starter out, you do have to loosen up the motor mounts. You do have to pry on it, but it's not bad at all. It really isn't. So anyway, yeah. So I'm going in the process. I'm going to put it all back together. I hope maybe this little rough run through helps somebody get a better idea, maybe a little visual on what it takes. But yeah, it wasn't bad. The only other thing too, the snowmobile lift, lifesaver. This, I mean, you can do it on the ground, but having this up in the air like I did made it so much easier just to be able to see up there and to get everything out of there. So again, hope this helps somebody. I hope maybe, you know, just like I said, just getting a visual makes your life a little easier. It's not as intimidating as it sounds. Just gotta take it slow and easy. But anyway, I hope it helped.